Today we'll be looking at how to replace the transmission or drive belt on a John Deere Zero turn. Here is a routing map that I drew in order for you to see how the belt goes around all of the pulleys. You'll be using a John Deere belt TCU 34299, and we will be using a 15mm end wrench along with a 1/2 inch ratchet and extension. The first thing we want to do is remove the deck belt. You can do this by simply pulling on the belt, but just keep sure that your fingers do not get stuck between the pulley and the belt. Then you can push the belt aside. Next, we want to loosen the 2 bolts on the belt guide. We do this using a 15mm end wrench. You can just loosen this. You don't need to take both bolts all of the way off. It isn't necessary to remove the pulley, but if you ever have your bearings go out and you need to replace the pulley, the tension pulley, you can simply remove this bolt here and the whole tension assembly will come off of the mower by just removing that bolt and this spring. You can lift the whole thing off, and that's the easiest way to replace that pulley. But it's not necessary to do that right now in order to change the belt. So next, you will take your new belt and you will feed it up under the tension system, and you're going to feed it onto the pulleys. You'll feed it onto both of the pump pulleys around the fans. It's a bit difficult to feed the belt around the fan blades onto the pulleys using only one hand, because I'm using the other hand to try to hold the camera so you can view this. But basically, you just feed the belt around all the fan blades until you get it on there. Now that I have the belt seated onto this pump pulley, I will stretch the belt across to the other pump pulley and try to feed the belt around the fan blades onto the pulley on that side. Which again, it's a bit difficult to do with one hand while I'm trying to hold the camera to film. Now that I have the belt on both of the pump pulleys, you should be able to tug on the belt, and you should feel it gliding on both pulleys as both pulleys spin as you pull on the belt. Next, we want to feed the belt up over the tension pulley, and you want to place the flat back side of the belt onto the tension pulley. And once you've got the belt on the tension pulley, the only remaining part of the belt that needs to be fed onto the pulley is that above the clutch. As you can see, it's sitting just below the pulley, and we need to get that belt up onto the pulley itself. The way that we get the belt onto that pulley is using our 1/2 inch ratchet with extension. We put it into the square on the belt tensioner, and we pull the ratchet back to towards the back of the machine, and as we're holding it there, we use our other free hand to guide the belt up onto the pulley. As you can see, the belt is now on the pulley up above the clutch. We check and make sure that the belt is seated on all of the pulleys by simply examining all of the pulleys to make sure that the belt is on them. As you can see, the belt is seated on all of the pulleys. At this time, we can use our 15mm ratchet and tighten the 2 bolts back up on the belt guide. Now all that's left to do is put the deck belt back onto its pulley. You do this by simply tugging on the belt, keeping your fingers out from in between the belt and the pulley, and you can just guide the belt with your palm of your hands right back onto the pulley below the clutch.